freaking terrible.
But we'll work hard to solve the format.
7 wins.
And I'm sure we'll make it there.
All right, well, what is up, my friends? Welcome to Bronze to Mythic. Show where we draft our account from Bronze to Mythic. About to do episode number 2, draft number 2. So we're just getting started. Reminder, like, comment, subscribe, hit all the buttons, ring the bell on the YouTube channel. Appreciate that so much. We're also still in our Marvel Strike Force sponsor stream. Please download the game for free. It supports me monetarily. You can play a game you haven't played before. It's free to play, free to download. Check it out. Get to level 10 if you can. That's a big bonus. We get giveaways to do. Boom. There's our giveaway wheel. We're almost ready for our next spin, which is great. And let's go. All right, our first draft was pretty cool. Could have gone better, obviously, but overall pretty happy. It looks like Draftsmith is also ready to go here too, which is very nice. So Draftsmith will be here to kind of hang out and show us the LSV ratings as well as the dynamic rankings that it always does, of course. And yeah, let's just get rocking and rolling here. As you do draft number 2, Wormcoil Engine. Not quite Wormcoil Engine. So a reminder, of course, for you folks who aren't familiar, the Draftsmith overlay we see right now on the left tells you what decks are doing well. And then, of course, the top number 4.0 is the LSV static ranking. That's just a ranking based on the card. And the little fiery number there, the 52, is the dynamic ranking based on the cards you've already drafted. So Misery Shadow is our rare here. And pretty good card, honestly, for limited. Just a 2-2 for 2. It scales up really, really well. Good Power Stone Mana Sink. Just a really, really solid card. We got Loran, Disciple of History. A pretty cool Gravedigger effect for artifacts. Research Desk. Cradle Clear Cutter, kind of a cool card. Big mana rampy card. Liquid Metal Coating, no cards here, unfortunately. And then some commons that aren't very exciting. Pretty easy rare here. I mean, one of our rules in Bronze to Mythic is that, especially early in the format, you always try and take the rare. Not because we're rare drafting, but because the rares you don't get to play with as often. I'll have plenty of chances to see how good Phalanx Vanguard or Conscripted Infantry is in my drafts. I'll not have as many chances to learn how good Misery Shadow is. So, Misery Shadow is going to be our pick. And pack 2, we see a pack with a rare missing. A downshifted rare. Pour one out for Obstinate Bailoff, huh? This card was a rare back in the day. Really good card, too. You know, locks it on Hierarch kind of card. Recruitment Officer is a great 1-drop also. But Overwhelming Remorse here is just unbelievable. This card's playable constructed. This card is so good. 5 mana for instant. Exile target creature Planeswalker. So, no restrictions on what you can target. And exiles as well. And then if this thing costs 4, it would be a first pick in limited. It costs 5, but it costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. That's insane. So super, super high class removal spell. We're already in black. I think we're taking the Realm Wars here. I don't think it's particularly close. Both Bailoff and Recruitment Officer are both quite good, but pretty happy to take Remorse here. Of course, they took a rare, so there's no signal. And of course, you see here the Mystical Archive artifacts, the retro artifacts in here, 1 in every pack. There can be 2 rares in a pack. These are really, really fun and add a really cool experience. I love the Strixhaven Mystical Archives, and I love these 2. A lot of fun. We had some cool cards in our last deck. Looking forward to see what weird artifacts we can get. All right, so there's one right there. Chromatic Star, Old Border, love it. So we get past a pack with a Hulking Metamorph. This is a 9-mana 7/7. That ETBs, it's a clone. Unfortunately, it's only of an artifact or creature that you control, which really makes the clone a lot worse. And it can also be a 3/3/4/4 clone. It's okay. I don't love clones that much, honestly. It's just fine. Gurgling Anointer. Ew. Gurgling's not a good word. 1/3 flyer, whenever you draw your second card, put a counter on it when it dies, turn a creature. Pretty solid. Obviously, the Dimir mechanic is the draw an extra card mechanic. A 1/3 flyer that might, if it's ever a 2/4, it's phenomenal here. We also get Scrapwork Rager, which is a pretty awesome Phyrexian Rager kind of card, where you play it, draw a card, unearth it, draw a card again. That is quite good as well. Chromatic Star would be good in the draw 2 card deck, and then not too much else here. I think it's just Rager or Gurgling Anointer. I think we're gonna, what's Gurgling Anointer? I think Rager's really good, but I want to try out the uncommon, see how it goes. We'll see. Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm not sure here. 1 counter on it means it can return the Misery Shadow, which is cool too. There's a little extra value there too. We'll see. Pass the pack with a Bone Saw, a Power Stone Fracture. Pretty interesting card here. Sack creature, artifact, and destroy target creature, Planeswalker. Very powerful effect, but kind of like Bone Splinters, you need to have things to sacrifice. We currently have no Power Stone generation and no token generation here, so you need to be aware that might or might not be good. We've got a Wing Commando, just a fine 3-drop. Not too much else going on here. Pretty mopey removal spell here in Unleash Shell. which is just like, it's okay. Refinery, Phalanx Vanguard. I guess we'll Power Stone Fracture here. It might or might not end up being good, but we're cutting black pretty hard. I don't see a reason to go into a different color here. Rust Goliath is also kind of fine, honestly, but let's take the Power Stone Fracture. Diabolic Intent. Definitely a really good card for Constructed, for combo decks, stuff like that, but not really a limited card. Repair, Recharge, Audacity. Pretty cool card. Rancor-esque, little value, draw a card, kind of nice. Scrapwork Mutt. A little unearthed creature, a little value as far as discarding cards for value, which is kind of cool. Grueling War Plows, also pretty good. It's Death Toucher early, and then a big creature late. Card is Barking, of course.
I am Khan.
Just never fails. Just never fails. I should have my own office somewhere. That's what I should do. Yeah. Audacity or Warplow. I might just stay black again, just hit the Warplow. Audacity's better, but just like, honestly, it's very possible in this format to be monocolored. It's not a crazy thing at all because of all the artifacts. So, all right, another Unleashed Shell, which is just an okay removal spell. Fog of War, Tower Worker, which is a kind of weird mana creature. Chain of Triple Double Strike, pretty cool Cliff Stomper here. Gotta be heavy black for that, of course, though. Jack, new sub, what's your name, where you from? Also, Dodo resub, thanks so much. And Jamo, new sub, what's up, friends? Welcome, appreciate it. The Infiltrator is just kind of Desynchronize, Air Marshals, okay. Gix's Caress. We'll take the Shell, I guess, just a removal spell. Obviously, Black-Red is also the best home for Power Stone Fracture, too, so... Thraxodemon. Pretty cool card. Just a bear, but it, you can sacrifice creatures, artifacts, and draw cards later. So, floor is a bear, which is great, and the ceiling is reasonable also. Whirling Strike, not a bad pump spell for aggressive, but we're not really that aggressive. Yeah, just take the demon here. Bear's fine. Nothing really to sacrifice yet, but... Overwhelming Remorse. Goring Warplow. Technodrome. Let's kick Shell. Semblance Amble. It's funny because a lot of the Mystical Archive cards are just combo cards. And they're not really playable unlimited. So, we got Tower Worker again. Coastal Bulwark. Air Marshal is like a fine 2-drop. Raise the Ground. So, Tower Worker, this is a spot where we're going to take a better cards off color. I don't want to play this card in my deck, honestly. And I think we're at Air Marshal. Cassian's over a month old. Cassian's closing in on 5 weeks. A little monster. Mishra's Research Desk. This is a kind of a cool Think Twice variant in red. We have Liquid Metal Coating, which obviously would be fun to, play all the shatters and stuff and kill our stuff, but not really a thing. Veteran Power Blade. Chain Dancer. Rust Goliath. This thing is pretty freaking huge, but we're not even close to green yet, so I'll take the Research Desk. Spectrum Sentinel is a kind of a cool card, Destructed. Gain a lot of life and stuff, but not really a good thing here. Curate, Escape, Giant Growth, Goblin Firebomb. It's all pretty bad. Take Giant Growth. So, we know we're black. That's about all we know so far. We have a lot of good black cards. We have one red card, one blue card, two red cards, one middling blue card. Infiltrator, if we are like a sacrifice deck, is pretty good. Another Unleashed Shell. Again, I don't love these 5 mana, 5 damage removal spells. They're pretty gross. Infiltrator, if we're sacrificing permanents, is kind of cool, but it's hard to find that many permanents to sacrifice, so it is just a 2-drop, which is kind of fine. I'm going to take the 2-drop. Just like, as a real diminishing return on your 5 mana removal spell, and just don't think it's particularly great. We'll see how many things we're actually like sacrificing too. Alright folks, first time hit that follow button watching YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe again. Once again, Marvel Strike Force, please download the game for free. Use the QR code. It financially supports me. They sponsor me, and I'm very, very thankful they're sponsoring me to do this. And all you gotta do is try the game for free and put some money in my pocket and try a new game on your phone and get to try out some new stuff and play your Paper Marvel superheroes and comic book heroes and all sorts of cool stuff in there. I played Marvel Strike Force on stream a few days ago. You can find that on my YouTube. It was a lot of fun. We had Baby hanging out, looking through superheroes and stuff. It was really, really fun. So check out Marvel Strike Force, #sponsored, and see how we do here. And we're not playing any of these cards, I don't think. So The Tomb. This card's so bad. Like Maze Mind Dome is 2 mana artifact tap to draw. This thing is to loot. Audacity tables. Audacity is quite good, honestly. And then a Chain Dancer. So, a couple of weird late picks. And then Tinkering. Sure. Alright, so pack number 2. We open up a Blast Zone, which is honestly okay, but not great. We have Gruesome Realization. Kind of a cool card, actually, here, because I tend to not like these lose 2, draw 2 effects because they're such bad tempo plays. But the fact that this could also just like kill a creature or two is really, really cool. So pretty cool card. We have the Sanrith Steel Seeker. Pretty sweet card, actually. This can trigger very, very often. Trying to find lands off the top of your deck and putting cards in your graveyard, which is cool. Elsewhere Flasks are pretty good. Cheap sacrifice piece for your, stuff like Power Stone Fracture and so on and so forth. Stern Lesson's pretty cool. Right now we need to decide what colors we are. Honestly, I might just take Realization or Flask because we're not sure what our second color is yet. I'm gonna take the Flask. It's pretty hard to go wrong with a 2 mana artifact that cantrips, honestly. Just like I can sacrifice it for this thing, sacrifice it to Power Stone Fracture, sacrifice it to this thing, so pretty cool. We get past the back here with the rare missing, but a old school rare. Revoker's obviously fine, but unexciting. We have the Dragon Engine, which is a 1/3 flyer or for 3 or an 8 mana 5/5 flyer. It can pump. Pretty reasonable. We have Trench Stalker, which is good in the double draw 2 deck. We have Gigamole, which is actually a pretty sweet card, honestly. Just like a 2/3 that can draw a card. Moment of Defiance, Weakness, Subjugation. I think our options here are Dragon Engine, Revoker, or Gigamole. And again, I think I want to stay black. We might be red, we might not be. So I'm not in a huge rush to take the red card here. Take Gigamole, keep it going. Yeah, this card's cool. Pretty fun card. That's what I mean about the fun, these cards being fun. There's a lot of really fun cards for limited that aren't like busted. They're just like pretty fun. Like Foundry Inspector is actually really, really good. This card's actually great. Makes a lot of stuff cheaper. Another Steel Seeker. So green does seem a little open here. Also Confrontation. We don't have like that many artifacts for Steel Seeker, unfortunately. Inspector's also quite good, making like artifacts cost cheaper. Glass Onion Reset, thanks so much. So we're looking at either Inspector here, taking Steel Seeker and considering black, or Confrontation is also pretty good too. I'm just gonna take the Inspector though. Well, it's pretty good too, but not a card I'm taking this early. Yeah, I'm cool with Inspector. Can get kind of artifacty here, I think. So yeah, now we're getting more and more artifacts in our deck here. Again, we have 3 red cards. Chain Dancer isn't particularly good, and Desk is fine, but not the most exciting. We'd also just like, play this card as it is or whatever. We don't need to play too heavy red to play it. Emergency Weld. We have Sigil of Valor. And equipment, whenever a creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control. That's pretty good, actually. Pretty solid card. Just allows you on a board stall to make some huge things going on. It's kind of nice. Juggernaut's actually not bad either. Weld is fine. I might Sigil here. This card's pretty good. Yeah, Weld is a 2 mana Gravedigger, but the Woman Body is obviously a lot worse than its used to. But it is still quite good. I don't think it's a card you want a ton of, though. We'll get it late, I think. I'm going to try out the Sigil. Old Border artifacts are sweet. Yes, just basically Exalted, for the most part. Attacking alone, doing your thing. So, yeah. We're definitely black. That much we know. Okay. So we've got Phyrexian Blast. This is a fling that draws a card, which is okay. Dreams of Steel and Oil, pretty bad discard spell. The Skull Flare is if you have multiple creature cards in your graveyard, so kind of good if you're doing like graveyardy stuff, which I'm not necessarily doing. Blitz Automaton is just fine on both sides. Artifact also. I think it's Automaton here probably. I'm not big on the Blast honestly. And Automaton just an artifact. Plays both sides of the ball. I'm in. So I think we're Rakdos at this point. There's not really reason to be anything else. We might or might not play the Unleashed Shell. It might be like mostly black, splashing red. Alright, Gnawing Vermin. ETB Mill 2, -1/-1 counter. Battery Bear is an awesome card, but obviously not what we're doing. Scrapsmith, ETB mill 3, and put an artifact in your hand. That's actually pretty good. This card's great. One of Defiance. Yeah, I mean, Scrapsmith is where we're at, actually. A lot of artifacts at this point. So, obviously, if we miss, it's just a 3-2 for 3, which is fine also. So, I think I'm in with this. Also, our Prowler, too. This card's great. Green does seem a little open, but... Reminder, the overlay you see on the screen is the Draftsmith overlay. Download it for yourself using my link for Untapped. It's the Untapped Draftsmith overlay. Free to download. Tracks your collection. Tracks all your stuff. You play Arena on your computer and don't have Draftsmith, I don't have Untapped, you're screwing up. These are all dynamic rankings based on machine learning, which is super cool. Helps to guide your drafts. Let's take a 2-drop, I guess. We could take the this thing, actually. I don't mind this. It's a fodder piece. Kind of cool clay. I think the first clay is pretty good. A Soul Guide Lantern, an Emergency Weld, a Soul Flare, Scrapwork Mutt. Now that we're actually red, the Mutt's pretty good. I think I'm mutting here. Lantern and Weld are both pretty solid, but Mutt's an artifact 2-drop, and now we're a little more artifacty, so. Challenging format, I agree. Another clay guy. A Strong Bowl. This card's like, okay. Vicious Onslaught, pretty bad. The second Revenant's a lot worse than the first because there's diminishing returns, obviously. So, pretty happy with Strongbow. So we're at 18 playables. Revoker tables, as does Moment of Defiance and Trench Stalker and the Juggernaut. Jugs is not bad, honestly. But I might just Revoker here, honestly. You can see how it plays. This is expensive. I'll take the Revoker. Again, the numbers you see at the bottom are it's Draftsmith rankings. It's a machine learning. It's ranking for what card you should take based on the cards you already have. It's a good helper if you're new to drafts, if you're struggling in a format. Not perfect, obviously, but it is a super great great guideline. Mindworker's like fine. Whirling Strike is not really where we're at. We want most of our non-creature cards to be artifacts, I think. It's certainly fine, but another artifact seems reasonable. And the ranking on top, again, is the LSV static ranking, as if you were reading an article by LSV. And it's occasionally two different numbers because it's based on synergy. Is your Emergency Weld? Sick. So, for example, a card like Power Stone Fracture is going to be unplayable in some decks and excellent in some decks based on the amount of fodder that you have. So the ranking is variable. Wow. Branchwood Prowler almost last. That is gross. My card's really, really good. All right. I mean, pretty good pack two for us. Oh. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. That's a monster. Really, really good card. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Hard to handle. Both sides are great. Also, Elsewhere Flask and some other crap I don't care about. Whatever. Slam it. You can see how close we are to being mono black here, which is kind of cool. Damn. That's a sweet earth. All right. Mindworker. We're not playing Mindworker, Revoker, Sigil. I would say we're probably not playing Skullflare. Fateful Handoff. That's not quite as good of a rare, but still. Ivory Tower, Haywire Might, another Emergency Well. Oh, there you go. Explosion. Lightning Bolt, Power Stone. Love it. Couldn't ask for more. Best card we could possibly have for our deck. Kind of. As at a common. It's really good. Table to Weld, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. But Explosion here is excellent. Real good. Burnished Heart, Carrion Locust, Thraxidemon. This pack's pretty bad. We're going to Refractor here. Just a cantrip artifact. Again, for all of our sacrifice synergies and stuff like that. Burnished Heart's kind of cool, but not really what we're trying to do here, so it's fine. Yeah, Corrupt it's funny because there is one basic land count matters card for each color. And the more of that land you play, the better. So it's another perk for being monocolored. So a late, and it's going to go late because not every player wants Corrupt. So that's a pretty cool one, actually. It's also the Corrupt Elsewhere Flask synergy, which is fun. Let's see here. We're playing all these cards. Welds, Desk, Revenant, Refractor, Revoker, Sigil. Gurgling Anointer isn't very good in our deck. Have very few ways to draw extra cards, so that's a little unexciting. Gigamole, Warplow, Flesh Gorger. Alright, so we got a pack with another Burnished Heart in it. Not much else, honestly. Gigamole is obviously fine. It's a little unexciting, but fine. Morse Shell, Warplow, Flesh Scourger. I mean, Burnished Heart's like okay. Dreams of Steel and Oil isn't very good. It's just so risky. Like the upside isn't very high, and the risk is very high as well. So, Burnished Heart's like not really us. I don't think. I mean, we have big things to ramp to. Let's take Burnished Heart. Gigamole's fine. We're not losing the graveyard that much. So, another research desk. We have a Iron Claw Crusher, which is a green prototype card. Dwarven Forge Chandler's kind of cool. Other Blitz Automaton. This card is also like pretty solid too. And then another Gigamole. These are all like just fine cards you can play. The Research Desk, Gigamole, Automaton. Already playing some of these cards in general. I think we're not playing this. I don't know. Let's take the Blitz, I think. Let's keep our artifact count high. Mission's Onslaught, Rock Hunter, Tower Worker. This is all a bunch of crap. I don't really want any of these cards. Soul Guide Lantern's kind of nice, actually. Which is a little value for graveyard stuff. There's a lot of graveyard stuff in this set. A lot of Unearth cards, stuff like that, too. So, in for Soul Guide Lantern. And a late Disfigure. We are a little lighter on removal, also. So, we have a lot of playables here. I would say too many playables at this point. But all in all, I am pretty happy with our deck. Strong Bull is okay. Gurgly Anointer isn't great either. This is 26 cards. We're going to cut 3, but we'll play 16 lands. I like Cliff Stopper. This card's so good if you're like super heavy red. We're like kind of aggressive. I would say we're not playing the Warplow, I don't think. I don't think we really need like a Death Touch blocker. We already have some big 6 and 7 mana spells, so it just seems underexciting. And then we got to cut one more card. Burnished Heart also isn't very exciting either. It's obviously very, very expensive to ramp. We're not really ramping in anything except for these things that are also just fine by themselves anyway. So another Emergency Weld. Ooh, that's pretty good. Emergency Well with Flesh Scourger and Shadow is pretty good. So, yeah, let's cut the Gurgling Anointer. We're not really drawing... Jeez, there's so many cards for our deck. We're not really drawing any extra cards. And this is going to be a 1-3, so let's cut the Gurgling Anointer. If I can stop getting playables here, that'd be great. Too many playables. Disfigure, Research Desk, Soul Guide Lantern, Emergency Weld, Infiltrator, Shadow, Fracture, 2 Thraxidemons. Now, for Unearth, does it sacrifice? No, it gets exiled. It's not a sacrifice for sacrificing stuff. This card's good too. Okay. So, and Weld brings back an artifact or creature. Alright, let's take a look. Looks pretty good, though. I would say I'm pretty happy with this draft. Alright, so... Wow. Drasmith is not very impressed. That's interesting. Alright, so let's take a look here. So we have 26 cards. We gotta cut 2 of them. We have a lot of artifacts. Not really super in on this this Penrigan Strongbull. It's like okay, obviously, but not super exciting. Smith is great with a lot of artifacts at this point. Double Welds, Shadow. I don't know if we need 2 Thraxidemons. The Mutt, the Flask, Refractor, Revoker, Sigil. Gotta cut 1 more card. It might be Gigamole, honestly. Just like, it's fine, but it's not super exciting. Burnished Heart is like, we do have some 7 drops, and we are going to be, you know, welding back our Flesh Gorger, hopefully, and our Automaton to play with some huge things as well. Gotta cut 1 more card here. Cut 1 more card. Why keep Energy Refractor? It's a cheap artifact. Just a 2-mana artifact. We can sacrifice it to Power Stone Fracture or Thraxidemon or Sack it to our Strongbow. It's artifact for Scrapsmith. It's cheap with Foundry Inspector. Maybe Burnished Heart's the pick. Yeah, I'll cut the Burnished Heart, sure. Rather Burnished than Giga Chad. I mean, Giga Chad, like, is a 2/3 if it draws a card, in theory. Or a 3/4. It's not an artifact, though. I like having a lot of artifacts. Just like Burnished Heart is pretty bad. It's literally a 6-mana Cultivate. Like, it's pretty... Unless you're, like, really rampant, it's pretty unexciting. So, I think we're here. I think this is going to be our deck right here, I think. Let's get some lands in the deck if we can. Hopping over to Orlando's. And adding some nice basics. Nice old bordered basics. We got a lot of black here, so we're 11-4. Sorry, we're 9-3. So play like... We have no reason to play Swamps, though. It's not like we're playing Corrupt or anything, so we don't need to play. You know, we can just do like... Probably like a 10... I think 10-6 is probably fine. Demolition Field. There's no non-basics you want to kill, right? It's like almost free to play. Should play it over a swamp or a mountain. It's like pretty free. There's like the Scry land. Might fix them too. Try it. Like, we just don't need double block for anything. So, all right. So let's try it out. That's our deck. Black red artifact stuff. You know what time it is, folks. It's Bronze Mythic. It's time for your predictions. Take a second if you're watching on YouTube. Pause the video. Scroll to the comments. And let me know in all capital letters, believer or non-believer. What do you think? 7 wins, yay or nay. We're in Bronze 2. So, and if you're on stream, of course, hit that vote button. And cast your votes. A gamble. All right. Check that out. Let's go. Bronze Mythic, Episode 2. Marvel Strike Force. Yeah, thanks so much. Let's go. All right. The votes are coming in. Wow, a lot of non-believers. We are in freaking in bronze, folks. You know, like, or bronze. Just saying. A lot of other folks are in bronze too. And if a new set comes out, a lot of folks haven't played in a while. Will play again. So like, you might have, you know, Reed Duke back on his account for the first time. Hasn't played in 3 months. Now playing in bronze, which happens too, obviously. But still, we are in bronze. So we'll keep this. Revoker, Emergency Weld. We got a Fracture, Blitz Automaton. I like the idea you can play this on 3 and then get it back later and play it on more. Now the fun part, though. Here we go. We're playing Revoker. What do we name? What do we name?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Name the Wandering Emperor. So, what are some white cards we can name that are... have activated abilities that matter in white? Ambush Paratrooper is a good one. I like that one, actually. I like that one. I'm in. Ambush Paratrooper. Oh, they'll probably just block this thing anyway, but done. Card's been named. Your turn. Like, this card's so much fun and limited. You know? Like, just like, it's the 2-drop. It's not particularly great, but it's fun. All right, Phalanx Vanguard, sure. We're going to shed jam here. Let's play the Automaton as a prototype. Let it ride here. Woo!
We have technology.
Happily trade. This is a pretty good card. Say you disfigure something bigger. Can you name Power Stone? No. You can only name magic cards. You can name Worn Power Stone. Chat. Coming out, man. Trade? Sure. That's great. Blitz Automaton. A 3/2 ace for 3 is just like pretty solid. You know? Power Stone Engineer. Engineering. Alright. I mean, we could like attack and trade here and then just weld it back. It's not a great trade to give them a Power Stone, though. We might just chill. This card's good. Power Stone Engineer dies, make a Power Stone. So we trade. We weld it back. They have a Power Stone. They can cast a 5-drop, too. I'm going to say go. Not in a rush to trade just yet. Weldon Fracture is nice. Ooh, coming in. No Fear Shakespeare. In for 2. Cohort. That's pretty good. This is the 3/1. Then when it ETBs, make a 1/1. And has Unearth. We're going to disfigure this so we get attack. Good card. Untap and draw a Foundry Inspector. Sure. Attack for 3. Play Inspector. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Imagine being new to draft, you open a game to play, you end up playing against the 5th in the World Championship. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not in Bronze very long, you know. The point of this series of Bronze to Mythic is to show you how to go through all the ranks, you know. So, you know, we're showing you, you know, what happens in Bronze, what happens in Silver and Gold, and mistakes players make, and kind of going through, and you can learn the whole format together, and it's good times. Then I had a vote. The vote's over, my friend, but it was in chat. Look to the top of your chat box. Island. So unearth your attack for 3, make a 1. It's pretty good. This card's good. Here comes Power Stone Engineer. No blocks. And we're gonna move to our upkeep. They have the Tappy card. They have Machine over Matter. They're gonna unsummon my Inspector on my upkeep. Sure. We're just gonna attack. They chose to not unearth this. They probably have like a way to kill it. No, nope, nothing. Okay, interesting. And let's play this as I go. Something seems up here. There you go. They had the Paratrooper. They had 2 Paratroopers. All right, well, that was some Phyrexian Revoker name, huh? Woo! We're reading minds. All right, so we're gonna obviously kill some of these things. We're in the race right now. That's pretty good too. Cohort. It's a pretty big attack, honestly. Danger Zone reset. Thanks so much. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna disfigure. Wait, I already cast Disfigure. Never mind. I killed their thing. We're gonna do nothing here, I guess. We're gonna take a bunch. Yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. We they're at 11. We could like block and weld something back. We could also weld back the Revoker and just like turn off these Paratroopers, which is actually pretty good right now. I'm down for that. I'll just take all of this. Top 64, how's it going, my friend? First time seeing BTM live, you love it. Sigil of Valor is not bad either. All right, so this can cost 1 because of Inspector. 2 to equip, 1 to equip also. That's pretty good. So you can go Weld, Revoker, Sigil, Equip. That's great, actually. 5 is back. Name Ambush Paratrooper. Play Sigil of Valor. And we're going to put it on the Haster. And attack for a lot. As long as it attacks alone, we get +1/+1 for each other creature you control. So it's going to be a 6/5. Chumskis, love it. We still have 2 removal spells in our hand, which is pretty nice. We're at 9, they're at 11. Can't pump with this thing because the Revoker's turning it off. We have Inspector blocking the 1/1, so looking pretty good here. Inspector's being great. That was a really, really good turn, powered by Inspector. Just a good card. Oh no. They're going to cool down my stuff. Now it's tapped. That's bad. Okay. Here come the Paratroopers and the Engineer. Everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I guess we got to trade here. We can put the equipment on the Revoker and attack. I mean, our attacks aren't great, honestly. Use both of these to kill 2 things. Yeah, I guess. Alright. So we're 5 and they're at 11. We draw a free Soul Guide Lantern. Adorable. So he's on tap for like a while. So we're going to Explosion the Engineer and Power Stone Fracture a Paratrooper. Yeah. And then move the equipment and attack. Alright, so let's move this here. Yeah, maybe I should just block this, actually. Yeah, you're right. I should block this thing. You're correct. I just screwed up. Attack for... Oh, I screwed up again, actually. I miscounted my mana. That's okay. Attack and pump for a bunch. They go to 7. Play Lantern. We can't actually Expulsion and Fracture. But I think we wanted to equip, so... Kill the 2-1. So yeah, we should be at 6 right now if I killed this instead. That was a mistake. I should have blocked the 2-1. They're just stupid. I'm going to draw off this, actually. Let's see if we draw. It's one of our 7 drops. Hey, our free Clay Revenant? Wow. We're killing it. All right, so I guess I punted because I could have played that for free and got to take one more point of damage. All right, cool. This is a fun set. A lot of minuscule micro decisions to make. And that's okay. So we're going to kill this. Kill this. Play our free Clay Revenant. Missed a point. Was not planning on having a free creature to play. We'll play this. Comes in tapped. We'll say go. And again, they can't activate the Paratrooper thanks to my Revoker. Another Paratrooper. Yo, bro. I heard you like Paratroopers. All right, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5. We are DOB. We need to draw a spell of some kind. So that 1 point might end up costing us on both sides, actually. So I missed a point on offense and a point on defense. Or you can draw Disenchant and kill us. That's true also, I guess. Revoker. What's up, Braveheart? How's it going, folks? Here they come. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I mean... Oh my god, they drew a 6-6. Alright, well, we're dead. That involuntary cooldown got us... This is 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still would have been 1 short. If we had... They drew a 6-6. If we had drawn... Or no, yeah. So we either way, I missed 1 point on offense and 1 point on defense, but I was dead either way. I guess I would have lived through. I couldn't kill this thing. So yeah, it didn't actually matter. So mistakes were made, but that's just how it goes, I guess. Sometimes we can kill this, play it again, attack for 2, 3, 4, 5. So we were 1 short anyway. Yeah, they got us. They got us. What are you gonna do? Kill this. Sack this. The old Blinding Beam. Get this card's great. Involuntary cooldown. Powerful card. Alright. Come get him, buddy. Cooldown's good. Yeah, it's a long time they're tapped. And they just got over the finish line here. If we had like 4 more life, these would untap, we would just kill them. But they got exactly the right amount. So, good for them. Well played. A little sloppy on our part. We'll tighten up. I want to remind you all, like I said, this is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force. Oops. Marvel Strike Force. Download Marvel Strike Force. Play to level 10, please. Free to play. Supports you monetarily. And as we designate more downloads. We're going to do some giveaways. We have the wheel here. We're going to spin the wheel. 5 more downloads for level 10, which is great. And of course, I'll do some giveaways on my YouTubes as well for all you YouTube folks, so you aren't left out too. Bronson Mythic, appreciate it. And I know sponsor stuff can be a little annoying at times, but I appreciate your support. Gotta pay my bills, folks. Revenant, Revoker, Power Stone, Scrapsmith, Flesh Gorger. Love it. Keep. Thanks, A-Bomb. Yeah, tapping 2 things rather than 1 is a big deal. Bonesaw. Firebomb. Alright, so playing the cheapies. We're going to play our Clay Revenant. This card's fine. We draw a 3rd land, too. Going to Flesh Gorger on 3, probably. Elsewhere Flask. We'll Revoker the Bonesaw, I guess, right? It's the thing that's already in play. Revoca. Bonesaw. No Bonesaws for you, my friend. Sorry. Not sorry. Power Blade, man. They love their equipment. So, this feels like a very typical bronze level gamer. And again, I'm not trying to make fun of my opponent, but I am going to point out the things that I think that that's keeping them in bronze. So you can get yourself out of bronze if you're in the lower levels. So, Bonesaw is okay. It's not a very good card. Firebomb is very expensive, and then Power Blade's also kind of mopey. And what we're seeing now is, these are cards that don't really affect the game that much, and we're seeing that right now. Wherever nothing in play. The problem with equipment is that you need to have creatures also And if you don't, they literally don't do anything. So we have some Moby equipments here. So the equipments you're going to play need to be pretty high power level. And if you put yourself all in like this, so now they play a creature with double strike. In theory, they could have this double striking, +2 power, +1 power, huge creature. But if I have a single kill spell, it all falls apart, which I do. So we're going to Power Stone Fracture here. I can sack the Flask or sack the Clay Revenant. I think the Flask is fine. So play Flask and draw a card. And there's your Demolition Field, sure. We'll just play Mountain, and we'll just kill this. And now, the tempo they lost by playing all these equipments also, they're just so far behind. So, you can only have so many slots in your deck dedicated to cards like this, and you want them to be efficient and synergistic. Dwarven Forge Chanter. Wizard. They can put the Power Blade on it. You can't use the Bone Saw, obviously. It's been revoked. Their Bone Saw privileges have been revoked. So we'll just send in the Flesh Gorger here, which is obviously a really good card. We can scrap Smith first, I guess. Mill some cards, see what we draw. We're going to mill over Inspector. I'll take that. 2-1. I mean, this could have been a 3-3, but I think it's fine. Yeah, like Bone Saw on power level is pretty low. It's a good synergy card if you're like dying for a lot of artifacts, but attack with the Flesh Gorger. Gain some life. And gonna exile their card. Gonna just draw a card off this also. You can see in this game, every card we've played so far has affected the board. Even if they're not like that important, we're still putting things in play, putting attackers or blockers in play, and kind of just constantly rolling along and doing our thing. That's why cards like this are great, where the creatures that come into play and draw cards end up being a lot better in Limited than cards that just say draw a card of them. So, for example, if we played a card like Divination, which is 3 mana, draw 2 cards, sorcery, it's alright. It's 2-for-1. But a card like this gives you a body in play too. So if you're behind, you can block. And if you're ahead, you can keep applying pressure. So they're going to play Sibling Rivalry, which is a threaten that makes a Power Stone. And they're going to steal my Scrapsmith. But they have no other things to do with this. So this is just a... not going to do much. Usually you see cards like this played with sacrifice outlets like we have in our deck. Where you steal their thing, you attack them with it, and you sacrifice it to something for value. Like, say, if we had, stolen their creature and then sacrificed it to Power Stone Fracture, that's like a really, really big swing. But on their own, they're not really good enough. As we'll see here. They're going to attack for 2, and then they're just going to get our creature back, and it's not going to do anything. So, take 2, and then we'll draw off our Soul Guide Lantern. And we draw a Emergency Well, which is really good. Just gonna keep on keeping on. They're at 7 here. Yeah, I mean, I guess like we'll just attack with the Gorger. Could like well back the Scrapsmith in theory, but we'll just attack with this. Play this, play land, play Inspector, and we have lethal next turn. So you can see they're already out of cards because a lot of the cards they played just didn't have a high impact in the game. They can use their Firebomb now and like kill something, but like at this point it's just so slow, it doesn't really matter. So. J Doom says he gave similar advice to the first Bronze Mythic. Thinking about how a card affects the board has helped me become a better drafter. It's very, very important, especially in modern day Limited. The cards that just almost every card you play has to affect the board in some way, or it needs to be really, really good. So they're gonna Firebomb the Revoker, not the Flesh Gorger, and then equip their Bone Saw. I mean, you can do that, sure. All right, so sure, so. And that's, and again, I'm not trying to make fun of my opponent. It might be new, it might be whatever it is. The point is to look at the mistakes they're making and then try to make sure that you don't make them yourself. So, boom. Moving on up. Keep it going here. Draft Safarian. Love it. All right. It's good. We can keep this. Free roll here with the Demolition Field. We see a mulligan from our opponent. Danny Tartable, the baseball player, in my chat? Wow.
Wow.
Demolition Field good? No, but it's just free in our deck. Our mana base is so good because we're playing all these artifacts that it just doesn't really matter. We can just afford to play a colorless land. Is it worth it? I'm not sure. We're trying it out to see how it goes. Burzum says, a lot of your stuff is great for all modes of Magic. Help me with Commander of all things. Great. That's awesome. There are definitely some Magic fundamentals that are just good in all formats for sure. Island. So they went and got an island and played another island. All right, so we're going to play Automaton. We can actually Foundry Inspector here and set up for a better Automaton turn. We draw a land, we can double Automaton next turn, which is sick. Yeah, Hunter's great. I didn't get to meet Hunter, unfortunately, at Magic 30. Hunter's awesome. Used to play in his tournaments. There's a mountain. Gig says, been trying to absorb as much info about draft as possible before using your free draft. Yeah, I think it's important, but don't like stress out too much. You know, don't try and absorb a ton of information and then like try to apply it all at once. It's a very, very hard thing to do. You know, go into your draft, have some fun, you know, and just try and do the best you can. It's a challenging thing. It's draft's the kind of thing where like you just need to lose a bit to get better at it. You're gonna need to lose some drafts, you know, and it can be a little expensive. But you're getting cards at the same time too, obviously, and like I think watching drafts is great for trying to like, you know, sidestep that experience like learning curve. But it's just there's no real substitute for just playing the game. So we're gonna jam here. They're gonna block the Inspector probably, but now we've already gotten great value off of it, which is awesome. I love this card. Wow, that is a bold no block there. Whew. Yeah, Blitz Automaton's my kind of card. They're gonna raise to the ground. Search for artifact with mana value. Want to draw a card? Can't be countered. Okay, sure. The problem is it too late now? So again, I think our opponent has made another error here. So they didn't block that turn, but they weren't really thinking about the structure of the game as a whole, right? So is Wing Commando a better card than Blitz Automaton or Inspector? Maybe, you know, I'm not entirely sure that's even true, but our opponent obviously valued it higher, right? So they looked at that last turn attack step in a vacuum, not in the context of the entire game. They said, is my card better than their card? Yes. Okay, well, I'm not going to block. But they didn't think about it in the big picture of the game as a whole, because they didn't think about this turn. So now we're at this next turn, and it's like, now what? Are you going to attack? No. Are you going to block this turn? Now you kind of have to. So you should just block last turn, you know? So that's a very easy mistake to make, you know, and that's a good lesson in like big picture of how to look at the game as a whole, not just in a small isolated, you know, is this A or B scenario. So we're going to Gigamole here, I think. We'll just attack him like Gigamole. Yeah, Inspector seems awesome. Like, actively really good. So now they're blocking, make the trade. So now they missed out on, they should be at 11 right now. You know, and those little mistakes kind of add up. So we're going to Gigamole. We're going to go over and mill 3. We're going to mill over no creatures, just a 3/4, which is fine. Not great, but fine. It's a weird card. I think this card is maybe not as good as I think it is on raw rate, because you're going to miss a lot. But we draw a Thraxo Demon. They play 5th land and just say go. We have a target for field, which is pretty cool. But we're just going to attack and see what happens. They're going to tap 2 creatures with Urza's Rebuff. Not a very good card. You know, this is much, much worse than the previous card that we saw in our first match that we lost for 2 reasons. That one also taps 2 creatures, but A, it locks them down for multiple turns, so it's like they're almost removed. And B, that card was played in a more tempo-based scenario where we were losing a race. When you have no board, tapping these 2 things here is just not going to be super great for you. Just tap those. We'll play a Scrapsmith. We're going to look over and hit a Revoker. So do I want a 3/2 or a Revoker? On a Revoker. So, good card here. It's 2/1 ETB draw card. Play the Lantern. Just, you know. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong card. Play Lantern. Get it in play. And exile the creature. And just say go. We're looking pretty good here, barring a Master Removal spell. Anything I learned from drafting last set on Arena that helped with Worlds? That's a hard set. I don't know. I really struggled with that set, honestly. I really didn't think my draft decks were very good a lot of the time, and my Worlds deck wasn't very good either. So you see a defensive Suspir here. If they have a spell that can eat my Scrapsmith, we could just like Power Stone Fracture to kill the Suspir, but I don't really need to do that, honestly. Let's start by just drawing a card. Just tap the field, draw a card. See what we draw. War, what's up? Thanks for reset. Appreciate it. We draw a Scrapwork Mutt, which is kind of gas. ETB you may discard if you do draw. We could kill this and try and go for lethal. Guess that's like fine. Maybe we'll play Mutt and discard Revoker and then try and kill it and go for lethal. And then if we'll sack this to have Unearth next turn. Yeah, well, usually I'm pretty anti go for it in spots like this because we can just wait. And like if they have a trick, we might like end up falling for their trap and falling behind and stuff. But I think we can do better than Revoker also. Revoker's literally just a 2-1. So discard this and try to draw a better spell. We drew it over. Wow. Wow. Now we're just going to cast the Remorse and not even bother fracturing. So see if they have a trick or not. This card is unbelievable. Like, for a common, I cannot believe this card's a common. Just unbelievably good card. And send lethal. Stern Lesson. Draw 2, make a Power Stone. Card's great, but doesn't affect the board, like we were saying earlier. Discarding a Fall of Krug. Alright, so that was an important game, lesson-wise. I think that turn that they didn't block with the 2-2 is a really, really common mistake that a lot of newer or less experienced players make. Don't be that player. Don't make that mistake. Let's keep going here. Ooh, I love all these old bordered artifacts. This deck seems sweet, honestly. Deck seems quite good. Swamp. Swamp.
It helps, I got out and pushed.
So they had to think about playing Gnawing Vermin. They're going to mill over Corrupt and Swamp. That's the card we wanted. Corrupt. Deals damage to any target number of swamps you control. Obviously, we're almost mono black, but oh, it's our rare. I forgot we had that card. So we're going to go Land and Revenant. Swamp again. Ashnod's Harvester. Solid card. Say 3-1 with Unearth. However, we get to eat with Soul Guide Lantern, which is dope. So let's I think we're gonna play Revoker and just line up 2 blocks. Play Revoker, name whatever, and we'll just we'll try and block Revoker on Vermin and Revenant on Harvester, and then we'll just eat the Harvester next turn. Unearth is an ability. Yes, we'll probably just name that, but play this. Sure, I'll name that. Sure, you got me. Just say go. Okay, looking to just trade here. Need to draw land. We are stuck on 2 lands at the moment if you don't draw land next turn, but attacks line up. They can exile our swamp if they want to. And just gonna trade the board off. That's great. So just 2 for 2. My card comes back anyway, and I get to exile their card that comes back, which is a little good value there. Well, I'll draw a land here pretty bad, but here's Spectrum Sentinel. I think this card is probably not playable unless you are dying for artifacts. Just not particularly an exciting card as a 1-2 for 1 that won't gain much life. There's a lot of multi-card with that either. So now we come into the problem of we don't have a 3rd land, but we still want to exile this thing before they can use it and exile my thing. So we're going to Lantern. I think we're just going to Lantern and probably draw off Slow Guide Lantern and try and draw a 3rd land. Play this, exile the Harvester. And then we're going to draw a card. Draw land. We did. Cool. Just say go. So we got a great hand here. We got Weld, Refractor, Remorse, Shadow. Multiple roll spells. Good bomb. Would it help if I got out and pushed is Princess Leia in Star Wars when Luke and Han are botching their rescue attempts. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's that's into the garbage chute, Flyboy. That's what I want on the soundboard. Help if I got out and pushed the Empire Strikes Back when the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive's not working. So I'm sorry. I'm about to get crucified by all the nerds on the internet. My bad. Sorry. So 4th land, go. We can play Shadow. Because you have Will to get it back too. Let's play Reflector. Yeah, I'm done. That's it. My career's over. Jim got the wrong Star Wars movie. He's dead. So we can Shadow or Infiltrator. This looks removally. Either they have nothing or they have a removal spell. We obviously have the Well to get it back, but they could have this thing too. So let's play the Infiltrator. Just say go. I haven't seen Andor yet. I'm very excited about it. We keep calling it Baby Show because obviously our son's name is Cassian. It wasn't really intentional, but kind of how it worked out. But we watched one episode of Rings of Power and have not watched Andor yet. We're very, very behind. I'm very excited to watch it though. I love Rogue One. It's probably my favorite Star Wars movie. So we can just like trade here. I mean, I guess we're gonna sacrifice something to this eventually. I guess we'll just do this. It's fine. There's another land. We can return the Clay Revenant also. Just attack. I feel like we're gonna cast Shadow and it's gonna get exiled by the Remorse, but whatever. Rogue One is like just phenomenal. We can return Revoker or Soul Guide Lantern also, but let's play this and return this. Yeah, if Andor is anything like Rogue One, I'm gonna love it. No spoilers or I'll kill you. Watch Andor before Rings. We watched episode 1 of the Lord of the Rings thing. It was cool. Andor made the best Disney Star Wars ever, and you're a Last Shadow Truther. I'm also a Last Shadow Truther. Last Shadow was the only good thing to come out of the sequel trilogy. At least it had some vision, you know. They're going to return back their vermin. Sure. Last Shadow had some issues. They were not issues with any of the major issues that people complain about usually. Gnawing vermin. So they're going to mill themselves again. Best archetype for draft. This is my second draft in the format, so I'm still learning. I got no idea. We were Demir in our first draft, already on YouTube, and they're going to mill 2 lands, and they're going to get a soldier token off of their Raised Dead. So I guess some shitters in play. But we have this thing now where if their things die, they exile, so this thing won't trigger, which is kind of cool. Bring back our Revenant. Untap and draw a Strongbull. And now I can play Strongbull and threaten to sack and make this thing bigger. Also threaten to make this thing bigger too. So the problem is that it eats up a bunch of my mana too. So I think it's just attack with Shadow and play both of these and just say go. Yeah, the casino subplot is the problem with like Last Jedi is like the best Star Wars ever at the same time as a prequel level casino subplot. Like everything with Luke, Rey, and Kylo is like A++++. But all right, attack here. We have the Wombo combos here. We're gonna get our engine online. It's nice to just have this like good rare with all of our cool engines. Problem with Rogue One was that it was a prequel. It's hard to close loose ends. I knew it was a suicide mission. I didn't, like, honestly, going into the movie, I didn't think, I mean, spoiler alert for Rogue One, I haven't seen it, that everyone was going to die. Like, it makes sense if you, like, think about it, I guess, because, like, where are these characters otherwise? But it didn't affect my impact of the movie at all. Like, I think the ending of Rogue One is just, like, gut-wrenching. Like, it's awesome. All right, so we're going to block with the Shadow. I think that they've missed the trigger here, but this is going to exile this. And they think it's going to try and kill this, but it's not going to. So, yeah, I saw Mandalorian, saw Boba Fett. I'm up on those. Boba Fett was middling. Mandalorian's good. All right, so we're going to Strongbull. And we're going to play Revenant also. All right, so, just so you go. Market as a heist movie. Rogue One is just a great war movie. Like, it's just a really good war movie. Star Wars be damned. You know, just showing the horrors of war and what needs to be done and so on and so forth and how it's messy and gray and it's just great. All right, so we're going to untap now with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Now we have Strongbull, which sacrifices artifacts to get bigger. We have a good artifact sacrifice This thing gets bigger and things are sacrificed. 2 kill spells in hand. Misery Shadow up also. We're looking pretty good here. And a removal spell too. Oh, lordy, lordy. All right. Can well back something too. Let's just attack. Here comes you and you and you. Yeah, and we're going to be sacrificing a lot of things. Strongbow here, so. So, any block they have here is just awful. So, with between Misery Shadow and the Strongbow. And the Strong Bird and the emails. Triple blocks. So, now the question is, do I want to Overwhelming Remorse? Or just, like, trade off the things? I think we're in pretty good shape here, honestly. The overall power level of our opponent's cards has not been very high, so they're going to triple block. So we're going to want to kill, I guess, the Tower Worker and the 1/1. Yeah. That's fun. So we're going to sacrifice the Clay Revenant. We're going to sacrifice the Refractor. And then we're going to, they're at 16, kill both of these. We could Remorse and keep these alive. Maybe I should do that. Is it worth the Remorse? I have 2 other kill spells in my hand too. I'll just freaking do it. Whatever. Sure.
Get off my
Fine. Just take the full Monty here. Just kill everything. It's all gone. Thran Power Suit. So again, we're seeing what we saw in one of the earlier drafts. So this is an equipment that just doesn't do anything by itself. Oh, they're just dead, right? Yeah, just pump this a million times. Whee!
Good lord. Gigantic.
Obviously, this is a really good rare. Just like a super efficient card on rate. Alright. Cool. We're rolling along. No remorse. No regrets. Out of Bronze. Episode 2. Bronze Mythic. Let's keep going. Man, Honor Inspector is great. So this is the kind of hand where like we're missing our main color. I don't think it matters. We just keep this hand. We have multiple things to play. We're drawing to like 10 swamps. We have red cards and artifacts also. So I'm gonna keep this. Swap. And there you go. Just draw a swamp. Anyway. Easy game. Black, white. Phyrexian Vanguard. Good 2-drop. Alright, so we can go Sigil or we can go Refractor. I'm going to Refractor for 2 reasons. 1, it draws a card, so I have more options next turn. And 2, it conceals the Sigil, so like on a later turn when we play it, it'll be a surprise. So, draw a card. Alright, and just go. We have Inspector, we got Gigamole, some removal spells, we got a Weld or 2. What's the 3rd reason, Lord Reagan? Marvel Strike Force. We're halfway to our goal for level 2s, then we're a third of the way to our goal level 10s. The cap is 150 for my sponsor stream. So they're going to combat Thresher Prototype. It's a 1/1 double strike for 3, which draws a card, which is obviously, you know, okay. We draw a Clay Revenant, so we can go Inspector and Revenant, which is sick. Yeah, pretty easy game. Inspector. Revenant. Go. Sell out with me. Oh yeah, sell out with me tonight. Babies ain't cheap, so give me that mobile money and everything's gonna be alright. Here comes a 3/2 Vanguard. They played their own Inspector. We don't really have much to do with our Inspector at the moment. We have a Weld also. I'm pretty happy to block here, I think. We don't block now. We're probably not attacking either. And we're just going to block. I said we're going to block. Thank you. Resub, Dan the Man says, you're my favorite streamer. I appreciate that. Thank you. Gonna get Chad here. Giga Chad will draw a card and trade or be big to block this thing, which is great. Alright, and then Thraxidemon. Yeah, we always take the card. And I'll just say go. So we got Sigil, Thraxidemon, Automaton, Removal Spell, Emergency Weld. We've got an Inspector in the bin, which is cool. Power Blade is a soldier. No, it's a construct, but they can still equip it for 2, obviously. So now they have a 3-1 double striker, which is scary, but I can just block it with both. So they probably shouldn't attack here. They're going to attack, sure. So we just block and trade. We'll trade one of our things for one of their things, which is great. All right, sure. Going to trade Giga Chad for Thresher, which is fine. I guess that dies too, but whatever, it's fine. It just comes back anyway. So another automaton. Fortunately, we are a little clunked up here. We could like weld back the Inspector because our hand is just so artifacty. Like weld back Inspector and play. I guess they were playing Sigil though. I have this thing. No, it doesn't work actually. And then I'm playing an artifact regardless. They were playing Inspector for next turn and not anything else either. So that's not particularly great. 20 to 17. Could weld back. Could weld back. Alright, this is not prismatic, whatever. Prophetic Prism. So it costs 2 to filter the mana. So. Could weld back Giga Chad. It's also not the worst either. Giga Chad gives us a look at our rare too. Yeah, I want to do that. Get a weld back Giga Chad. Get a little value here. Play the Sigil of Valor and just say go. Yeah, this card is mostly for turning Power Stones into mana. So you can use Power Stones to cast regular spells at a 2-to-1 ratio. It's like in Settlers of Catan, you're trading 2 wheats for one milk or oats or whatever. Fucking, I don't know what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Power Blade on the Inspector, attack for 5. Sure. Honestly, that's fine because we take a hit here, but they didn't develop their board that much, so. Alright, down 12. And they did nothing else. We draw Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. We can just cast this. The problem is that, like, they have 4 cards in hand, and none of them were things to play for 4 mana or less that are proactive, meaning they probably have a lot of removal spells in their hand. So, we can just, like, Giga Chad here, I think. This costs 1 to equip. Yeah, we could, like... Yeah, I'll just Giga Chad. Chad Gamer Hours. Mill over... Land. Another good rare. Sure, I'm in. We're obviously a little, we're not mana screwed. We have a lot of mana to spend on things and not a lot of mana to play, but let's go. Land 5. This card's very good, I think. Thresher. Vanguard's good too. Super solid 2-drop. Goring Warplow, 5/4 Death Toucher. That's big. We can Power Stone Fracture that. We're still stuck on lands here pretty bad, honestly. We can't double spell, we only have 1 black too. So the field is hurting us this game. It would have been a swamp, and now we are struggling a bit. Perhaps bringing back the Inspector would have been better, I don't know. I mean, we can play Flesh Gorger here. If they have removal spell, it's pretty bad for us, though. We can Power Stone Fracture and just, like, kill something. Like, sacrificing, like, the Refractor. Then I can't play anything else. Like, I'll just draw a card of this thing, too. I'll just play this and draw a card, I think. Try and draw land. Kobo, resub. Thanks so much. There it is. Alright. So now I can play Flesh Gorger. I can play Automaton. Or I can play Power Stone Fracture, kill the 5/4, and just, like, sit back into my blockers. I would like to kill this, I think. So it's Power Stone Fracture. Target this. Sacrifice the Refractor. Combo. And just, like, go. Giga Chad blocks Inspector. Our hand's full of gas. We honestly, it might be a spot where we're going to hardcast this, too, which would be pretty sick. Alright, I mean, snap block. You got a trick? Don't mind tricks here at all, because they're going to use the tricks on my bad creatures, not my good stuff, so. Bunny Resub, thanks so much. I have a child. Yes. Thanks, friend. I appreciate it. If you missed it, last night was the cooking stream that Nicole and I owed you from a prior sponsored stream. An hour and 20 minutes of Nicole making chicken parm and baby hanging out and me hanging out. It's on my Jim Davis etc. YouTube channel, kind of like my extra stuff channel. Someone can put a link into it in chat. That'd be great. If the mods or Nicole or something. But it's a lot of fun. They use the trick. Probably should have double play creatures here and try and keep blocking this thing. Play this. No, we're not getting Inspector. We're saving the Weld for the Flesh Gorger at this point, I think. Play this as a prototype. And we'll attack for 1. Because we're not blocking with the 1/1, so... Attack here, and just say go. 2 good blockers. Baby sleeping yet? Not that well, but, you know. Land number 7 for them. There are some pretty big, expensive cards in this set. Hero of the Dunes. That's pretty good. Alright, so... This gives all your things +1/+0, and brings a creature back too. Pretty good. We're close to playing Flesh Gorger, but not quite there as a 7-drop. I think I want to do. We could play it as a 3/3. We have the Weld also. We'll just play it. We'll play it, and then we'll put the sigil on it. We can't do anything else if we play that, unfortunately. So like the field's really hurting us here. It might have not been worth it to play it, honestly. And as long as they don't exile it, we can do good stuff with it. Yeah, sure. Play that, and then equip it. And say go. I guess I could have put this here and attack with this. Everything's we could have put this on the 1/1. I screwed up. I should have put the sigil on the 1/1, attacked for 4 because it's not blocking anyway, and then moved it here. I think so. That's okay though. I still can, but then the mana's wasted for next turn, so it's like I can't put it back. So I think I'd rather have the mana for next turn. Static Net. That's what I was worried about. An exiling removal spell. All right, that sucks. All right, well, that's that. No, Karin, I'm working. I can't deal with you right now. Thank you. Who wants to see Karin? Raise your hand in chat. Put your Karin emotes in chat. We draw a Lando. Close to playing the Automaton as a monster. We're just going to play everything here. We're just going to go Strongbow, Shadow, and then put the thing on the thing and attack. Put this here. Attack with this for a whole bunch. Citadel's great. This card's really, really good. Great, great breakthrough card. They're going to kill it. Sure. They just use the kill spell on my freaking token, which is awesome. So. Why are you in here? Who let you in here? Who let you in here while I'm trying to work? Who let you in here?
I am Karn.
Huh? Are you enjoying your Power Stones? Are you enjoying Brothers War? What do you think? Your breath stinks. Your breath's very stinky. You're a stinky, stinky breath dog. A pizza vest? No, it's a pumpkin bandana. All right, here comes the Foundry Inspector. We're gonna block for sure here. We can block with the it's an Automaton, or is it Thraxodemon? I think we're unlikely to use this card. Like way later in the game, maybe with this thing could be good. I'll block with the Automaton, I guess. All right, Karin needs to go. Let's go. Let's go. You're out. All right. So they're going to take the trade, re-equip, and say go. Great. And now we're playing our 6/4. We might not actually play it yet, though. We could just, like, put the sigil on this, like, the shadow and attack. Because the 6/4 would just trade with this thing anyway. We have Revenant to come back also. I obviously can't buy back our stupid Flesh Gorger because they didn't kill it. They exiled it, which sucks. But play land. 3 mana, 1 mana, 3 mana, 1 mana. You can always weld back the Automaton, I suppose. 26 is a lot. They are at a pretty high life total. Well back automaton, cast automaton, and then equip the sigil and attack for 6, possibly 7. Don't want this to die either, though. So, interesting spot. This is 3. This would be 4, 5, 6. It'd be a 5, 6. That's pretty good, actually. Strongbow. I think Strongbow's getting in. Let's weld back automaton. Make token. Buy this thing back. Cast this thing. Put Sigil on Strongbow. And now Strongbow will be a 6 toughness creature. So you can safely attack through these. This keeps my Shadow alive and both my automatons in hand. Sure. Totally fine. Great exchange. This card is very middling. Not a great removal spell. They play a land. Excellent. This is my second draft, episode 2, Bronze Mythic. Here comes the Vanguard. Snap block. Love it. Exiled. Love it. They're running out of things to do. Double honkin' chonkin' automatons. Yeah, this raise dead's pretty good. Power Blade on this thing. It's a 5 power creature. Sure. And now it's time to just get in, I think. It's weird because, like, they're just going to trade the automaton for the Hero of Dunes when I could just, like, put Sigil on something else and attack. But then I'm wasting the mana for this thing, too. So it's kind of weird. Like, do I even want to play this as a big creature? I might not. Just kind of weird. I might just, like, play Flask and play it as a small creature. Yeah, let's just do this. Do this. Draw Swamp. Alright. Play land. Just gotta play it small. And then we're going to put the Sigil onto the Revenant. Stack. Not going to be frisky here than anything else. Just going to be sending in my my Sigil creature. This is obviously a great trade if they block. And then I'm just going to leave it there, I think. So we're in pretty good shape. Again, playing this as a 6/4 doesn't make much sense here because we're not using the Sigil or anything. Next turn I might want to because I can use this. Alright, so they play a Loran Disciple of History. They get back the Warplow. It's pretty good. That's a pretty powerful card here. 3/3 Gravedigger is very, very good. Get back Warplow. It could be a 5/4 Death Toucher, but I think we're still in great shape here. So we're going to untap. The retro artifacts are legal in Limited and legal in Historic, and I love Historic, so excited for that. Infiltrator. Yeah, just play this big, huge thing. And send in the Clay Revenant again. It's now a 5. This card's great. Sigil Valor, this card's awesome. Good card. Love to see it. Alright, and then are we going to move the Sigil over at this point? I don't think so. I think I want to keep it on this thingy. Now they can send in their Warplow if they want to. I would probably just block with my Automaton, honestly. Our board's great at this point, so... No, the Hero of the Dunes comes in. A very surprising attack. I'm going to block and see what happens. Good exchange. Just trading up on creatures. The smaller our board gets, the worse Sigil gets. That's like fine because we're making good trades every time. So there's a 7/4 Warplow. Absolutely. And untap and draw a land. So player Infiltrator. And now the Shadow could attack also, but it would trade with this. So we're not going to attack with that. So we're just going to go... Just attack. Here it comes. Sigil of Valor is soloing this game right now. In for 5. Your turn. We can sacrifice the Flask at a moment's notice to make this thing into a 3/2, which is kind of cool. Here comes the Warplow. Snap block with the Automaton. Great trade. Gets exiled. Every trade's been so good for us. Perspiring Spike, you're great. Thank you. All right, is it time to put the sigil on the shadow and just go nuts? I think it is. All right, buddy. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 13, 13 possibly. Monster. Monster. Nantuku Shade! Where my boomers at? If you love Nantuku Shade back in the day, raise your hand in chat. Make yourself visible on YouTube. Nantuku Shade is that's a gangster old card. Untap and draw a land. Alright, I mean, this is just throws in the abyss right now, so it's a 15-15. Potentially. Was that Judgment? Torment. Torment was the mono black set. Judgment was the anti mono black set and the green white set. Can attack all. I mean, then this thing doesn't grow. I guess I could. Sure, maybe, whatever. Is there a kill attacker card in this format? So I'm just going for the win.
Oh my god, Becky.
14. Pow! How about Frozen Save for the real OG? That's fair. Ernie Jin with the very, very fitting name coming in with the real old school card here in Frozen Shade. That is true. You got me. You got me. That's a lot of junky artifacts. I love it. Keep. Killer Bees. Yeah, my buddy Matt had Killer Bees in his mono green deck back in the day. Card was pretty good. Do we hold Soul Guide Lantern for an Unearth card? They're playing blue-white. I just want to draw. I'm just play this. Let's go. We should add a plus button on the abilities. The problem is that each time you activate the Shade is an individual ability your opponent can respond to. So it doesn't really work like that to have it do it all at once. All right, play land, play Refractor. Refractor. And just say go. I'm pumped for this. This is really exciting. I actually got this in the mail yesterday. Look at this freaking thing. It's my new Stream Deck Plus with knobs and shit on it. Can't wait to set that up when I get back. There'll be tons of pictures about that. Really, really cool. I'm pumped. Third Path Iconoclast is really, really good. We can't kill that just yet. But yeah, more buttons is a nut. I love more buttons. We're going to Automaton attack. Prototype. Back from Atlanta. I'll be at DreamHack Atlanta Regional Championship this weekend. Coverage on the DreamHack Magic Twitch channel. It's brand new, so make sure you follow it. Raise to the ground, get a counter. Okay. We have a kill spell here. We can kill this now, which we're going to, I think, which is kind of mana inefficient, but this card's just like insanely good, so yeah, we're gonna kill this. It ain't pretty, but now we have Research Desk, which we can draw 2. Flash draws a card. This thing draws a card. So we have a lot of cards banked up right now. Tactician. It's a soldier. All right. It's pretty good. We're going to untap and draw a Infiltrator. That's actually sick. Because now I can, these things all sacrifice. That's actually great. Let's play Infiltrator. And then we'll just sack this thing and draw a card and grow it. And then we'll draw a Misery Shadow. I can play the Elsewhere Flask to threaten to grow this again. Yeah, let's do that. Draw a card. Oh, boy. That's a honkin' chonkin' boy. All right. Let's say go. So we have a threatened block here on the Tactician. We are at 16, so we need to be aware of our life total. Need to decide how greedy you want to be as far as playing this for 7 or playing it for 3. Is there a DreamHack command? There is not. Go on DreamHack? Awesome. Who am I to see at DreamHack? I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will not be playing on Fridays. So Friday's the day if you want to say hi to me. I'll be walking around. I'll be streaming from noon to 2 on the floor of DreamHack, which is really fun. So I can try and block this thing and just eat it. Or I can try and block this and trade. That obviously have a trickier probably, but I'm going to try and go for the high value play. Make all my lands into islands.
Somebody's playing a prank on me.
Mishra's Juggernaut. That's a big, dangerous card. Alright, I think we're going to need to play Flesh Gorger as a 3-3. I could wait one turn. We're taking a huge hit next turn. I guess the Shadow can just, like, block and trade here, honestly. So maybe we, like, Desk, sacrifice Desk, Shadow, and just trade Shadow for Juggernaut, and also exiles it, too. So let's play this thing. Let's activate the ability. Put a counter on Infiltrator. This card's pretty good, actually. And exile land and Disfigure. I mean, I am playing Disfigure, so play this thing. Play Shadow. I do have 2 Raised Deads in my deck also, so I don't mind just trading this off. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Let's go. Liu, resub. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Love my YouTube, folks. If you're a YouTube viewer, raise your hand in chat. And if you're a YouTube viewer on YouTube, leave a comment saying that you are a YouTube viewer who's commenting on YouTube. Just trying to get you to comment on the video, all right? Urza, Prince of Krug. That gives all your artifact creatures +2/+2. That is actually broken. Alright, that sucks. We cannot trade with the Juggernaut anymore. Actually, I can double block and trade one of these. So I think I have to do, I guess. So we'll have a 4/4 and a 5/4. They can only kill one of them. Yeah, so we got a block here. I just hope that our Flesh Gorger is good enough. There's also exile Juggernaut too, which is really, I think, really important. So, wow, they killed the thing and not the Shadow. Interesting. We draw Power Stone Fracture too. It's kind of gas. All right, well, you know what time it is, folks.
Our hero returned.
Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, go. Don't exile it, please. Cost 7 life to kill it. Which honestly isn't even that bad. It's like they're ahead on board, so. Oh, yeah. Oh, Sigil of Valor too? Oh, yeah. Let's go. All right, we're going to research desk. We're going to pop the desk. See what our top cards are. We got Scrapsmith. Oh, wow. Explosion. We can explode and kill Urza. Love it. Let's try and explode and kill Urza. They're going to... Wow. They're going to Sentinel. Bounce it back to their hand. Fizzle my thingy. And, alright. And now I decide if I want to Power Stone Fracture to kill something. If I fracture the Lord, they can't double block my Gorger, which is pretty good. So I'm going to do that. Let's go land. Fracture this. They still have Urza, but I think it's fine. Because our Gorger's live now, so... Their blocks aren't good. You're coming in. What's up, Schemer? Boom! And now it's huge. That first hit's really important because now the ward ability actually matters. The ward is paid life equal to its power, so I can pay 7 life to target this. Right, so now I pay 7 life. Before, when they were at 17, it didn't matter that much. Now they're at 3, so it actually does matter. So they're going to tap my thing, keep it tapped, go down to 3. So we're at 20, they're at 3. I still have my Shadow in play, too. And now Shadow's just in the Abyss every turn. Play Chain Dancer. Cool. Alright. Here we go. We draw a Demolition Field. Actually? Nah, I'm sure they have a white source in their deck. They're all soldiers, though. It could matter for later. We're going to Sigil Equip. It's better for future turns. And play this. So they're in the Abyss. They have to chump block this every single turn. Okay. And are we going to Field of Ruin their Beachhead? Is there a chance they don't have a Plains in their deck? I think there is. Let's do it. It also has an ability, obviously, too, so. Go get our own Swamp. It is kind of annoying that our opponents have had ways to kill our creatures without killing them for our so our raised heads aren't as good, but alright, say go. We're all in, obviously. If they kill our shadow here, we're a huge dog, but DreamHack is on twitch.tv/DreamHackMagic. It's a separate channel. Go follow it now. The mechanical difference between Field of Ruin and Demolition Field is that it's not each player. So in Commander game, each player doesn't search, and it's a May also. So in Modern, you can Field of Ruin your opponent, and then force them to search their deck, and then use Archive Trap on them. So it's a slightly different templating. 95% of the time, it'll be the same card. Everything for the Weak Stone. In the tank. Here's Urza. Alright, so they're in chump block mode. This thing can make infinite blockers for 6 mana every turn, but it's obviously not really a... necessarily, I mean, I need to draw some spells here, unfortunately. Shadow's great and all, but it can't do everything. We're at 15. Alright, say go. We're playing Demolition Field because our mana base is just so good that... Uh-oh. I said, uh-oh. Steel Seraph. 6 mana for a 5/4. Beginning of combat your turn, target creature you control gains flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. That's a pretty good one. And it's a frickin' 7/6. I mean, the good news is that, like, our shade is so big, they're still in the abyss, but... yeah, that's not good. Alright, let's draw a kill spell. Sack. We already drew that. Alright, we're might be in trouble here, folks, honestly. They got a chump block with the Chain Dancer, but they just gain 7 next turn, and they can copy it also. Yeah, they were dead. That sucks. I mean, I played 2 rares. They played 2 rares, right? It's only fair, I guess. Actually, they played 3 rares, actually. So,
Certainty of death. Small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
so they can like give both of these lifelink and attack. Yeah, we're flooding a little bit. You could say that. It's gonna give us lifelink and vigilance. Okay, that's pretty good. Lord Tupperware with the big raid. Lord Tupperware, you're great. If you like limited content, go follow Lord Tupperware. They're awesome. And welcome to Bronze to Mythic, Episode 2, Draft 2. My second draft of the format in my show where I go from Bronze to Mythic. And we're learning the format, having a great time. If you have any nuggets of wisdom, Lord Tupperware, I'd be happy to hear them. Like, don't lose to rares. That's a good one, right? Untap. And we draw a Thraxodemon, which is too little too late, unfortunately. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah, Lords Unlimited is fantastic. I listen to them, honestly, once every set. For BTM. Usually when I'm, in, like, Platinum, I'll fire up a Lords Unlimited podcast, get a fresher on the format, hear some fresh ideas. They're great. Am I going blind in the format? I always do. Episode 1 of Bronze and Mythic is always my first draft. I've done my set review and nothing else. Yeah, we're just dead here. That sucks. Urza and Steel Seraph. Confirm better than Flesh Gorger and Misery Shadow. Yeah, we're dead. Format is great. Yeah, I so far it looks really, really fun. I love the Mystical Archives, like, so much. They were so fun in Strixhaven. They're so fun in this, too. Just having these random artifacts that are just, like, weird. Like, we have a Revoker in our deck, and just, like, fun playing it on turn 2 and, like, figuring out what to name. But, yeah, all right, we're dead. I mean, again, what are you going to do? You know what happens. So, no worries. Very, very smart losing, though, because we just made silver. Oh, no, we didn't. Never mind. I thought we just made silver, so we lost 1 rank. Whatever. Baby's helping Nicole with the YouTube right now. Sitting in Nicole's lap. All right, Gorger. Mutt. Sounds good. I would say we're, like, not going to discard here. Maybe discard a swamp, I guess. Nah, you gotta keep a third land for Borger, I think. So the question is, do we... no, I'm good, thank you. Do we discard the, like, flask and just draw a card? Try and find red? Or do we, just leave it? Just play a 2-1? Just, like, not discard? We're all we really need to draw is red for Scrapsmith. That's the only problem with our hand right now. Yeah, I mean, we're playing Gorger next turn. Yeah, let's go for the red, I guess. You draw. Look at that. Woo! Damn, I'm smart. Alright, so they play an Air Marshal. And I'm pretty sure we're just jamming our Flesh Gorger here. Let's attack first. But, again, it kind of sucks that, like, our opponents have been doing a really good job of not killing this. So we can't recur it with our 2 emergency welds. Which is unfortunate. But I think we're just jamming it here. Yeah, actually gonna play it. It's early enough where it's like really, really impactful.
Good lord. Gigantism.
Oh, baby's baby, yeah. Baby Cassian. Hey, baby. So I got a baby and I say, hey, baby. If you want to see baby, we did a cooking stream yesterday with Nicole. It's on my my Funzy YouTube channel. So I'm gonna put the link in chat, please. All right, so they go 3 mana up, which is kind of sketchy. But we're just gonna attack. Okay, if this dies, it's fine. I just don't want to get exiled, or put under a rest effect. Let's play land. Just attack. Something might be up here, but I think it's fine. Lord Drake has a link in chat if you want to see that. The cooking stream with Nicole. Delicious chicken parm. Best out there, gluten-free. John's got celiac. Blocks are fine. Just it, straight trades. Could have the counterspell here, so it could be a reason to not play Scrapsmith and just say go. Something is up here. So this is the kind of spot in the limited game where you say, all right, it's turn 3. They didn't play anything, and they have 6 cards in their hand. What's going on? You know, and that's the beginning of wisdom in limited. Is that question right there? What is going on? Why did they do this? So that counterspell is a very reasonable one, and this is a pretty high value card. So we could just chill here. At the same time, we do have a Weld in our hand. I think we could probably just cast this. If they counter it, we can just like get it back next turn. So I'm gonna cast it. Sure, that's fine. We're gonna mill over Misery Shadow. So we don't run an artifacts of a 3/2, which is fine. We have Disfigure up also, cool, and they're just gonna do nothing, which is great. That's always a possibility also. So that's why you don't want to play around everything kind of thing. And they play a lance. They might have been mana screwed and have cards to their cards or whatever. That's the thing too. Weak Stone. God damn it. Leave my Flesh Gorger alone. Stop weak stoning my poor Flesh Gorger. Alright, we have ways to sacrifice it, which is good at least. So, alright, so they pay some life. Tap that thing up. And they have 3 cards, 3 mana left over. They have red now, of course. Bastard. And they're going to recommission their creature. This is a pretty easy Disfigure spot, I think. Disfigure is not a premium kill spell, so I don't mind just killing this. Getting in. Now they're at 12 too, so I'm trying to keep applying pressure. We draw a Giga Chad. If I didn't Giga Chad, we could have like brought this back and discarded a land, but Giga Chad's pretty good here, I think. So just stack. Chad gamer hours. And mill over. Land. 3/4's fine. And we'll hold this land to discard to Mutt, maybe. So we'll just say go. We've got 6 power. I'm sorry, 8 power next turn, potentially. Retrieval Agent. They play a 2/5.
Oh my god, Becky.
It's a large butt. We can retrieve back our Shade if we want to. Or weld back. We can weld that back. We can play the Shade. Our attacks here obviously aren't great into their 2/5. The Mutt's not doing a ton here either. So yeah, we'll just weld this back. Weld back Shade. Play Shade. Say go. Next turn we have a phenomenal attack, obviously, with the Mutt and the Shade pumps. 2/5. Strong dude. Land 6. Static Net. Stop answering my things. I'm just trying to have some fun here. Alright, goodbye Shadow. That one's gone forever. We can't stack that one and get it back to the with a raise. We have one more raise dead in our deck, so That's gone. Gain some life. Make a Power Stone. Obviously, a premium rule spell. We draw Blitz Automaton. Now I can Mutt and Automaton. Alright, I'm in. Sure. You know what they say, folks. Can I hear it in chat, please? What do we say here on this channel? What do we like to say here? I'll tell you what we like to say. I'll tell you right now. After we discard this card. Discarding a Swamp. Ooh, good draw. Hitting the button. Send. It's not lethal, but it's close. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Puts them at 2. Maybe a removal spell. I'm all about it. I'm in. You got tricks? No. Now they're at 2. This dies. We have a removal spell and 3 attackers. 2 of which are lethal. Damn it, Leroy. Oh my god. Woo!
Good lord. Gigantism.
That's really big, but they're dead. So, kill this. And Ward 4 is a lot, but thankfully we applied pressure last turn and finished them off this turn. We'll take it. Poor Flesh Gorger's struggling a little bit, but we're doing just fine. This is a pretty awkward hand. Do I use 17 lands? No, I use untap.gg for both deck tracking and Draftsmith. I'll peek on 17 lands occasionally, but... Alright, so we are on the draw. We have 9 or 10 black sources in our deck. We have a lot of artifacts, too. And the expansion. On the play, we definitely have to mulligan this. We have 2 Raised Deads also. I guess all of our cards are very conditional. I guess we're going to mulligan. If it's just like a creature or 2, I think we keep. But because we have 2 very conditional cards, another conditional card, which does work with this card, I guess. And then we have the Remorse, which is also kind of conditional. This is obviously very bad, but the question is, like, I think people mulligan a little too often in Limited. But I think this one is just bad enough that we're going to mulligan it. So we'll mulligan. We'll go to 6. Sure. That's fine. And then we will get rid of the... I guess the Flask? The Thraxid Demon's not great. But it is a 2-drop, obviously. We have 3-drop here. Strongbowl's only okay in this spot. Maybe Strong. I also can't cast it either, so... I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Alright. Let it ride. What's up, Seba? Appreciate it. This is draft number 2, episode 2, Bronze to Mythic. Again, I have the Marvel Strike Force graphics up right now. So the draft counter's up there right now, but it will be up next draft. Can I explain more? A lot of people mulligan too much in Limited. Because you just have more time in Limited than you do in Constructed. And being down a card just sucks. It's very, very awful. And you're not looking for like the perfect hand. You just want to be able to stay alive. You know? And if you're playing 17 lands in your deck and you're on the draw with a 2-lander, like, and you have like one way to cycle a card, you're pretty likely to draw a land. You know? And I think people just, you know, they mulligan. The risk of a mulligan, if you mulligan again to 5, it's very hard to win. So I think people just mulligan too much. How do I D-rank down? I have multiple accounts. Look at this. Perfect mana. I got Tron online. In Constructed, I think I'm a pretty aggressive mulliganer, honestly. Because in Constructed, like, you have the card quality to make up for losing a card. In Limited, it's much harder to do. Yeah, we're trying out Demolition Field. It's been pretty bad. We've used it once to almost no effect, and it mana screwed us once. Our mana base is so good that we figured we would try it, but it hasn't been particularly good. Alright, so we don't draw our red sorcerer for our prototype. We have a Mutt, though. We can Mutt away the Demolition Field, which is kind of cool. And then try and draw a red source, something like that. But let's actually just attack first. Attack for 2. We're going to Mutt. Discard field, try and draw a red source. Union of the Third Path. This card's kind of gas, honestly. He needs a lot of life. Discard the field. And draw a... Alright, we drew a Research Jessica, which was pretty sweet. Lips instead. That's pretty good. So we have removal spell, little card advantage, 2 things in play, a haster if we draw land. Why don't I edit the deck? I will do that occasionally. I don't think it's, like, detrimentally bad. Like, I don't think I would play it again, but I also don't mind, like, just playing it. I don't think it's an egregious error to play it, and I would like to see if it affects the games at all. There it is. The problem is they played a 3-3, which is unfortunate for our board right now. So we can play, this is like a really, really obvious play. So we're going to play, actually, you know what? So we're going to play the Automaton and we're going to attack with everything. If they block either 2 toughness creature, our Disfigure is a great trick. If they block the Mutt and we end up trading, it sucks, but at least it's an unearthed creature. And I think they're somewhat likely to not block this one out of the 3. So it's us kind of like thinking about what they're going to do and making our play based on that. We don't want them to block this, so we might be inclined to leave it back, but they're very unlikely to. So we're just going to jam. Here they come. Probably block here, I would assume. All right, sure, that's fine too. There's your block. There's your Disfigure. Will I tie... Wait, what? Will I try what now? Trash Treasure Modern Portal? Yeah, probably. Shoot down my my poor Automaton. Sure. So on the board, we're still in good shape here. We drew Clay Revenant. We out flat. We're gonna try to fire up the bobble here, I think, or Mistress, whatever. And we're going to reveal another Automaton. Oh, I'm in. Oh, let's go. Woo! Can't say no to that. Sigil's pretty cool and all, but that was pretty sweet. We like that.
Can I kick it?
Static Net again. Well, this time it's not on my freaking rares, so I don't want to mind that. That's fine. All right, and we got a Foundry Inspector. Sick. This card has been awesome. Inspector. Free creature. Flask. Draw. Fractor. Sure. Attack. Love it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Lodestone Golem. I gotta say, I am so in favor of these Mystical Archive cards. It's so fun seeing cards like this. Lodestone Golem is a cool card. It's not broken. Like, obviously, Wormcoil is a little much. For the most part, these are all just really fun limited cards. Great. So we're gonna... And it's a little annoying, too, actually. It's a decently sized creature. And a Millstone. Sure. It's, like, kind of whatever. I think Millstone's pretty bad. We draw a Giga Chad that costs 1 more. I'm using. Unearth is not casting, so we can't reduce the cost of that with this, which is kind of annoying. But play our Fractor. And draw a Revoker. We can name... probably name Goblin Firebomb, because their Millstone's, like, almost irrelevant. I have Graveyard stuff anyway, too, so... we could Research Desk, but we're going to not be able to play a spell off of it, so we can also just, like, sack the, this thingy, too. So I can draw. But let's attack with our, Inspector. I will offer the trade here if they want it. Will you trade? Looks like they will. Sure. Great. So there's your trade. Player Evoker. Name, Firebomb. Goblin Firebomb, please. No Goblin Firebomb for you. Turn that shit off. So we got Giga Chad. They've got a Swift Gear Drake. A 2/4 flyer ETB bottom of card. That's pretty good. This card's, like, pretty fine. It's not great, but, like, it's more of a sideboard card, I suppose. Wait, what? Why are they bottoming their Lodestone and not my Research Desk? I think it's a common mistake players make when they think that, like, putting cards in the bottom of their library is, like, actively good, like you're getting it back in some way. You're never going to see that card again, ever. Like, ever. Might as well, it's actually worse being here than in the graveyard, you know? Alright, so... top Astral's Flame. So we're going to untap. 2/4 is kind of annoying. It's decently well-sized. We get a Giga Chad here? I think so. Just like Giga Chad. Do your thing. Try to find a bomb rare. Mill 3. Land. Removal spell land. Sure. Let's go. We got 18 cards in decks, and Millstone's not that threatening. Slagstone Refinery. 4 mana for an artifact. Whenever this or another non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or put into exile, make a tapped Power Stone. That does not seem worth 4 mana in limited. Kind of a weird, like, Crack Clan Ironworks kind of combo-y card. Doesn't seem very good. Alright, untap and draw. Overwhelming Remorse.
Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god!
Their win con's right here. Disenchant their Evoker? Sure. Alright. They get a Power Stone. Watch out now. Charge! Alright, you're at 4. Your turn. Power Stone value. Sweet. Alright. We got our final match here. Cue the Guile theme. We are 6-2, playing for 7 wins. Key change. Alright, we're gonna keep. Hand's fine. Cantrip, removal spell, 3-drop, 3-drop. There we go. Easy game. First run was a 5-3. It's already up on YouTube now. Our deck was good, but shit happens, you know. Sigil of Valor. So we're going to play our Refractor and draw a card. And then get our beats on with either Scrapsmith or Automaton, basically what they do. We just drew another land, so we might want to wait and try and play this at 7 mana, but we'll see. Evolving Wilds go. Amusingly enough, if they had a 3-drop there, they could have sacked the Flask and made this into like an island and then cast it, which is kind of fun, but another land. Yeah, so we want to hold on to our Automaton here. Could have a counterspell, but there's no reason I think they don't have a counterspell, because if they played a land that could tap for mana, you know, maybe they miss a 3-drop, but, you know, them having 2 mana up here is pretty whatever, so have they have it. Yes, BTM is on a new YouTube channel, you're correct. It's got its own channel now. There it is. All right, so they had the counterspell. So a well-disguised counterspell, honestly. Because it looks like their mana is just a little awkward here, but that's fine. Lost our Scrapsmith, which is unfortunate, but c'est la vie. Here's a Boulder Branch Golem, gaining 3 life. We're going to Giga Chad. Yeah, we're going to Giga Chad. We could just kill it and set up for a Automaton, but I could also go Explosion and 2-drop next turn, so yeah, let's do this. Chad Gamer Hours. What do we got? We have 2 bomb rare creatures in our deck. Can we find one of them? We cannot. Before it is. This card's good. Really good 7-drop. Self-Assembler. This card is awesome. This is a huge card. And this another what? You can't do this to me. This was a common in its draft format back in the day in Kaladesh, so you get multiples. But getting multiples of the same uncommon retro card is nasty. That's gross. All right. All right. Play a land. It's funny because we're gonna like mutt away a land, even if we kind of want a land. But this thing just trades with this thing now, so like it's kind of whatever. All right. Let's mutt away a land. We have the Sigil also, so mutt away a land and explode the Golem. Gross. So good. Alright. Sure. And then we're going to kill this thing. Make a Power Stone and just say go. A lot of mana next turn for my Automaton. Also Sigil of Valor too. Self-assembling. Coastal, they're declining on playing the Assembler. Gonna play Coastal Bulwark instead and leave a bunch of mana up. So, super sketchy. Very, very sketchy play from our opponent. And now we need to decide what we want to do. So, it looks like a counterspell. It's hard for it to be much else, honestly. And all of our cards are pretty high quality. I can see playing Sigil here and seeing what they do. Let's start there. Bulwark's pretty good. Yes, don't forget, folks, the Piledriver pre-release this Saturday. We do a ton of fun stuff in my Discord for my YouTube members and Twitch subs. They had the counterspell, sure. That was actually really good for us. So, I need to play this thing and say go. Counter the wrong spell, my friend. Piledriver pre-release is 4 rounds, free to play with prizes in the Discord. We usually do poker night once a month and commander night once a month, but new baby and all is kind of get things a little off schedule. But Discord's the place to be if you're a sub, $5 a month on Twitch or on YouTube membership. If you're watching on YouTube, the membership's on my main channel because BTM doesn't have its own membership thing. But Twitch is fine also, $5 a month. Get you in Discord, get you all the perks. All the games we play in my Discord are free to play with prizes. So, good stuff. Here's your assembler. No third one, right? All right, they just have a mine worker. It's still insane, though. It's like 5 mana, 4/4, draw 4/4, 5 mana, 4/4, draw 2/2. So, untap. And that was not bad. It's awkward because the automaton just trades one of these, which is pretty bad. Shadow is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Would I trade Shadow for both assemblers? I think I would. Solid attack here. I didn't think they would do it. All right. We have 2 raised heads in our deck. This is fine, I think. So, I'm going to pump him a million times. We pump. And 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 we pump. Am I going to watch any of the Pioneer LCQs for tips on Saturday? Dan's playing in those. So I'll be popping around. I'm doing a streamer. I'm doing a streamer pod on Friday noon to 2. So I'll be streaming on Friday from noon to 2 at DreamHack, which is pretty fun. Wow, yeah, I'm a little surprised, but this is fine. This is still like, I mean, it's obviously a good card, but like this is a really good trade. So, like I said, we have ways to bring us back. We have 2 raised heads in our deck. We have 1 raised head in our deck. But all right, we also have this 6/4 in our hand too. So exile those and say go. Do I have to get stream snipers? I hope so. There's more viewers. Doctor Mechanic and Power Stone Prodigy. There's the Weld. Woo! Just talking about you, my friend. So now do we Automaton attack? I think we do. I would trade Automaton with 2 of these things, probably. That does mean they get a Thopter token, though. What's this card do? Let's read this one. Vigilance 1/3, loot, discard an artifact, make a Power Stone. Sure. Let's see. So would I trade Automaton for, like, Mechanic and Bulwark? Probably. Honestly. I could just weld back the Shadow and play it this turn and attack with my Giga Chad. That would trade with the Bulwark, though, which isn't very good. So, yeah, I think it's fine. Let's go big.
Good lord. Gigantism.
All right, and here comes the big boomer. I think I'll attack with the Chad also. If we trade Shad for Bulwark and get it for 6 here, I think that's fine. I think they're very likely to double block the Mechanic and the Bulwark on the Automaton, so it's a free 3 damage on the Chad. Sure. So, kill both those. Now we're going to have a board of Giga Chad Mutt versus Token Urza. Archaeologist. So this is the ETB blue mill 3 creature. They milled over the Toymaker land. So they have a 1/4 and the Opportunist makes Power Stone. Alright, that's a pretty good board. And Power Stone gets in for 1 vigilance damage. Fancy. RWB, new sub. What's your name? Where you from? Oh. I said, you're up. And now you have the kill spell to break out double blocks too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo!
Wow, it's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
Flow of Knowledge. Wow. Flow of Knowledge is sick. They could have actually sacked the Flask for an extra card, but 5 islands in play, so draw 5, discard 2. That's pretty good. It's not bad. We have the Weld to get this thing back too. Love it. Discard land. Mind Worker. Okay, so we have a land. So attack with Gorger. They block with these two. We trade, just buy it back, I guess. We have Remorse too, which can like break up a double block in theory. But these always cards kind of suck. So we have 6, 7, 8 mana. We're one short of playing Weld and Gorger in the same turn. That sucks. That's unfortunate. Interesting. What's up, D? Thanks to resub. Exile this, attack, kills this, then all their future blocks are really bad. I don't really want to burn their rule spell, honestly, because I think they play like some bomb next turn. We already have, that's all of our kill spells, basically. So what's the fear they count? I guess we're just gonna do it though. Just attack, trade, gain the life, whatever. It's not ideal, but they drew a lot of cards, yeah. So like they have some big bomb in their hand, I'll be able to kill it, so let this trade happen, gain 7 life, weld it back. Give me that back. It is Gorger, right? Not Shadow? Yeah, it's gotta be Gorger. Could play Shadow this turn too, but... And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I'm just like we'll hold the land to dilute to the mutt at some point, perhaps. Ideally, if we just go like land, slam an 8-drop here, we kill it, untap, play Gorger. Good sign. They're starting the turn. Start the turn with a loot. It's a very good sign. They have a lot of cards in hand. Discard a land, play a land. Nothing. Alright. Let me draw a land. There's a bit of a fear of a counterspell here, honestly. Like, they've now drawn a bunch of cards and then looted and, like, just didn't do anything. So, like, I'm definitely got some concerns here, some reservations, if you will. 26 to 20, and they have 10 cards in their deck. I'm going to play a land. I might just say go here, honestly. Like, the looter increases how fast they deck. We're at 26 life, and they have no threats. We have a kill spell. We're gonna win this game via decking. I think it's important to have a good vision for what the end of the game looks like. And that's my vision right now. End step, rocking it. Sure. So that's so now we read them for a counterspell. Once they play this, that read loses confidence because they had a thing to do that wasn't counterspell. So they might have just had this and not a counterspell, but that's why it looked like a counterspell. So might just jam this next turn. Here's the rock. Don't want to kill this? I don't think so. This is fine for a turn, I think. They have a lot of mana now, though. We are the ultimate rock in it. Yeah, this is fun. Take a hit. See if they play anything better. They have 13 lands accounted for. So there's only like 3 or 4 lands among the 9 cards in their deck and the 3 cards in their hand. So they have a pretty... That's another one. It's a 10. So they're pretty spell dense in these remaining cards. Alright, untap. Mountain. Man. A little floody. Alright, we're probably going to kill the rock here at this point. And I'm just not ready to cast this yet. Now they have pressure, we're going to kill it. As long as we're in like a null game state of like neither player being ahead, I don't mind just sitting here because they're just going to deck eventually. Another rock. Okay, now it's time to kill one of these, I guess. Alright. Rock in it. Rock in it. Rock in it. Rock in it. Alright, we're casting the Gorger next turn, I'm pretty sure. The counterspell is it wants to pay 4. And it's we're never going to have 11 mana, so we have 8, 9, 10. It's actually kind of close, but... Damn it! Alright. This is the best we ever set, folks. We just used our exiling a rule spell, and they played this thing exactly the turn later. Alright, that's bad. Let's say go. Alright. We have our own, obviously, really good rares, so they're going to go for the air attack. All right. Revoker. So we like attack. They block with Worm Coil on the 1/4. We trade, gain 7 life. They get 2 3/3s. My Giga Chat blocks the 1. I can block the other as well. This is like not that bad, honestly. So we're gonna jam. Sure. I think we're ahead here. I think we're ahead. The 7 life is huge because now the rock is a very slow clock. Wait, what? Oh, it doesn't have death touch? Oh no.
That's it. I'm going to clown college.
I thought it had death touch. Oh no. Oh no. Welcome to Bronze the Mythic. No. Well, now we're dead. Shit. That's going to make this game pretty hard to win, folks. I will try my best, but that's the point of the show, folks. It's my second draft. You know, I thought it had death touch. All right. We'll name the opportunist, I guess. That's brutal. Brutal. All right, say go. Oh, no. Even if I had, I just didn't think the order of the blockers mattered, obviously. So I didn't bother to change it. If we killed the Worm Coil there, we'd still be ahead. But now we're, in some pretty big doo-doo. No. All right. Yeah, that's really, really bad for us. All right. We are going to... We're 23. What's in our deck? We've got a Disfigure, a Revenant, a Research Desk, a Soul Guide Lantern, and an Infiltrator, Thoracic Demon, Strongbow, Inspector, Automaton, and 5 lands. That's our deck right now. That is not looking very good. We can trade the World with the Worm Coil, but then I don't have an answer to the 4/4 or the 3/3s that it makes either. I get to Mutt and loot away a card. They've got 5 cards left. Yeah, we would have easily won this game by killed the Worm Coil. Easily. All right. That's not good. That's not good. Reading the cards explains the cards. All right, so those die. They go to 32. We go to 15. Our best chance to win is decking anyway, so... What the hell did I name? Wait, what? Oh, I named the wrong card, too. What I guess I want them to loot, so it's almost better that way. Jeez. Alright, that's actually pretty good. Automaton here. Let's blitz this, or whatever. Not blitz it. You know what I mean. And loot away this land. And this thing trades with this. That's not bad either. Just play this big idiot. If I play Strong Bull, it actually blocks and doesn't trade, which is pretty sweet. Maybe just play this as a 3/2. A 6/4 here doesn't really matter that much. It can't block this or this or this and trade effectively. Whereas Strong Bolt does, if I stack both of these. 3/3. It's 3/3 and then 2 sacks. Can't sack this for value, unfortunately, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just trying to buy, 3 more turns. 4, 5 more turns. 6 more turns. Alright, so we're gonna say go. I like sacks for value to deal 1 damage, but it doesn't matter. And just, we need the mana for the blocks anyway, so we'll just say go. So, say go. Alright. So, we're at 15 with a lot of work to do. Alright, so we are going to block. We're going to eat the Elsewhere Flask. We're going to eat the Death Toucher. And we're taking 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yikes, that's a lot. We can just like sack. Let's chop with our Evoker, and then sack to the Bull, and keep an artifact to sack for the Bull. Yeah, I like this. So, here's our blocks. Sack to Bull, sack to Bull. Oh, I understand we're done on board. I get it, folks. All right. Sack this. So now we kill this, maintain our strong bull. We take only 4, so we're at 8. Or no, it was more than that, whatever. An opportunist. Yeah, I knew we were drawing a line there for sure. Alright, well, unfortunately, I didn't know what my card did. If we had killed the Worm Coil a turn earlier, we don't have to trade our entire board for the Worm Coil, and then we're probably ahead this game. They did draw pretty well as far as like they drew like good spell, and we drew land. But I think we probably still would have won this game. But what are you gonna do? That's Bronze and Mythic. I don't know what the cards do yet. It's literally draft number 2. It is what it is. We'll take it. So we went 6-3, and we made it up to silver, which is nice. So we'll lose our notch, and we didn't lose any notches. Look at that, smart. Very, very smart, right?
Good old rock.
So let's take a look at our deck here. I think our deck was very good. We lost that match due to a punt. We lost an earlier match to some stuff. I don't remember exactly, but I think our deck was good. We had obviously we had 2 good rares in Flesh Gorger and the Shadow. But we had a bunch of cheap artifacts. Inspector was super great. We had some good kill spells. The Weld was very good. The sacrificing stuff was pretty sweet as well. Deck just seems sweet. I like it. Episode 2, Bronze to Mythic in the books. And stream folks don't go nowhere, but YouTube folks love you. Like, comment, subscribe. And you're all great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.